Good morning. How are you? Happy Monday.
Every month, we share stories about the Compton Unified School District's turnaround. Stories about our students, academic accomplishments, and stories about the teachers, administrators, and staff who work hard to support our students. This month, we finally get to show off the results of months of construction to reveal brand new playing fields, playgrounds, tracks, and even tennis courts. Many of our elementary and middle schools will get a complete makeover. Also, Emerson Elementary School's TV journalists go one-on-one with our superintendent for their monthly news program. And we'll meet CUSD's new Chief Technology Officer. What does a technology officer do, and why does CUSD need one? You'll find out. Hello, I'm MIcah Ali, Vice President of the Compton Unified School District Board of Trustees, and your host today. After months of work, we're finally ready to unveil the new look for our elementary and middle school campuses. Through funds secured through the Emergency Repair Program, we were able to transform dusty, weed-choked fields into lush playgrounds.
It's a great day in Compton, and what all this great work means is our children will have environments that are conducive to learning. You plant seeds and you water them and you take great care of them and you watch them grow into beautiful flowers, and that's what we're looking for our students. We want them to thrive and be healthy and happy and be in an environment that is conducive to learning. People don't mind being inconvenienced as long as what they get afterwards is great. And I think that's what they'll find, great facilities and great opportunity in our schools. Great things are worth the wait. Pardon our progress.
The work is not completely done, but our students should start using these fields by the middle of November. We all know what a CEO is, the Chief Executive Officer. And many of you probably have heard of a CFO, the Chief Financial Officer. But what is a CTO? Today we welcome Compton Unified School District's newest administrator, Tony Burrus, who starts a newly created position, a very historical position because we've never had it before. The Chief Technology Officer. I want to welcome Mr. Burrus, and I would like for you to just simply start by explaining to our viewers what a Chief Technology Officer does and why that job has an important place within this school district.
One of the things that Chief Technology Officer does is unify the vision of a district. But why it's really, really important for a Chief Technology Officer to be in a district or any organization is that person usually has a seat at the table. What I mean by that is decisions have often been made without technology at the table, and then there's a disconnect in initiatives that are being drawn out or implemented.
Now that we know the importance and significance of the CTO position, is it perhaps easy to understand from a parent's perspective that what we're doing is we're merging the instructional component as well as the hardware component, kind of marrying that to make certain that there's a seamless process between just simply installing a computer versus knowing exactly what's the best computer system that enhances the learning experience? Yeah,
so it's a little bit of both. It's merging the two together, making sure that there's one vision, one thing that's said from both sides of the shop. It's not always about the devices. It's more about the instruction and how to use the device in the classrooms and teaching and coaching teachers and students how to use the device responsibly.
So having a robust technology organization helps the classroom teacher deliver instruction in a much more efficient and effective manner. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Also, just having a robust infrastructure as well. So infrastructure isn't just hardware, it's people as well.
Okay. And so when people talk about one-to-one and new Apple initiatives and utilizing Lenovo's or Google apps, you're the guy who's going to make certain all that happens, and you're going to make certain that there's Wi-Fi. Kind of, give us just a perspective and a little bit glimpse into what you do day to day.
So what I'm responsible for, what we're responsible for as a technology group, is to make sure that we support instruction. Whatever it is that we throw at it, whether it be Apples today or Lenovo's tomorrow or HP's the next day, whatever it is that's going to be thrown at it, hardware-wise and teaching-wise, we need to be able to support. So at the end of the day, we support instruction.
That's beautiful, and I guess we have a tremendous amount of instruction going on within 2.1 million square feet of classroom space throughout this entire system, having to provide bandwidth and connectivity and making certain that teachers get exactly what they need in order to help these young folks.
Correct. One of the most important things is making sure that whatever it is that we're doing is going to be accessible to teachers and students. You only get one shot, and after that, they don't want to do it anymore.
Well, I think you said it best. You only get one shot. There's no way to recall a child. This is not a missile, or this is not a Toyota. Okay?
Right.
You can't simply put it out there and call it back. So we're very much happy to have you. Is there anything else you'd like to expound on that you want people to really understand and know?
I'm very, very glad to be here. We have a lot of work to do. We're going to go through and refine some processes and make it easier, and just make sure that we meet the kids and the teachers where they are.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I'm a parent.
Okay.
I want to know what qualifies you to be in this job. Where have you been? What have you done? What education do you have in order to be able to lead and make certain that my child is ready for 21st century learning experience?
So my previous position was in North Carolina as a CTO there for Union County Public Schools. We rolled out, at the time, we were the largest rollout of Chromebooks in the nation. We rolled out 24,000 devices. They were now at 35,000 devices. 1-to-1, 612 takes the devices home. So there's a challenge in that, and we needed to make sure that they were monitored or filtered when they went home. So they ran back through our filter. We needed to make sure we had enough bandwidth in the schools coming in and going out to the internet. And we needed to make sure, like I said once before, the infrastructure was in place, infrastructure being people, and people are trained up. So, I was there at the beginning of our 1-to-1 rollout, where we just started in the 6th grade, and now we're 612. We're actually 312.
Okay, so now let's just break this down to the lowest level possible. We can extract all the acronyms. So you went 6 to 12. 1-to-1.
Correct.
And so what does that mean, 1-to-1?
Every student has a device.
Every student between the 6th grade and the 12th grade took home a technological device.
They took home a Chromebook, yes.
How big is that district?
We had 42,000 students.
42,000 students. So what about your academic background? I want to know, where did you go to school?
Went to Central
what qualifies you for this?
Went to Central State in Wilberforce, Ohio. When I was in Ohio. Then when I moved out here, I went to a place called Computer Education Institute, studied what I thought I was going to study for was website development, but what I ended up in was networking, and just kind of took off from there.
So you have pretty big plans for Compton Unified School District?
I do.
Well, can you let us in on a little secret?
No.
Can you share a little bit of it with us?
Not yet.
Okay, well, all that matters is this. You're here.
I'm here.
Academic achievement is up.
Yes.
And you're going to help us to push that even further.
I am.
And so it's extremely, extremely impactful for this community. We want to thank you, Mr. Burrus, and we look forward to working with you in the future.
Appreciate it.
Now that we know how important technology is here within the Compton Unified School District, let us take a closer look at how teachers are using it in the classroom daily.
This is our integrated development environment. This is where we write all our Java programs. So you go to File, then you go to New Project. My name is Ivan A. Connor, and I'm a computer science teacher at Dominguez High. This class is computer science with ECS. 70 to 80% of the future jobs are going to be in computers, and most of that stuff, a lot of that stuff is going to be web-based. So knowing Java, also knowing Python, knowing App Inventor also, those are very useful languages for them to learn.
Take your mouse and click into C5. Click your August score. My name is Dana Moan, and we're at Mayo Elementary, and I'm a 5th grade teacher. Once they go out into the real world, they're going to have to track data. They're going to have to use spreadsheets. They're going to have to create charts. They're going to have to use technology the way that I use technology.
I had to read an article, and then after I finished reading it, and when you finish typing, you could click submit and it'll give you points.
I am reading about this because I like playing video games, and I want to learn how to create video games.
Matter of fact, you know, since you're starting later, I want you to start off in Java. Go into NetBeans. Right now, they're working on an ECS project, their first ECS project, human-computer interaction. This is one of my most successful classes. They have a good attention span, and they want to learn, and so they're doing well.
All right, here come your numbers. Ready? Oscar A, you are at 665. It's the first day that they have seen a improvement in their Lexile score. Lexile level is one of the single biggest indicators of success in their academic career. One of the things that we've tried to do, I've been trying to do, is to have them care about their Lexile level, to care about increasing that Lexile level. It's one of the biggest indicators of success. So now we want to go in and we want to see our change.
I tried my best and I did a good thing, and I think that my parents will be proud of me.
Show it to the person who loves you or who takes care of you, and show them what your hard work got you.
Every morning, Kennedy Elementary School Principal Cecila Madrid is out in front of her school, welcoming her students and their parents. It is a gesture that reveals much about Miss Madrid's philosophy on how to help her school and her students succeed.
Good morning. How are you? Happy Monday. I think it's one of the most important things is to be able to come and greet our students and welcome them to school. It's the beginning of the day. So how you greet them might determine the day that they're going to have. So I make sure that I'm always smiling and I'm really happy, and that the parents are able to be able to also see me greeting them and greet them. It gives them an opportunity to be able to talk to me in the morning, sometimes that issues or questions that they might have. Come on. What happened? All right? And you're going to be able to learn a lot today. You'll be fine. Come on. I started fresh out of college, Kelsey Dominguez, came in first year as a kindergarten teacher at Dickinson Elementary. So I taught there for about 15 years until I got the curriculum specialist position. And I did that for about 4 years in 2 different schools. And then I became an assistant principal and then now a principal. Due to the heat wave today, we will be doing PE and recess indoors. PE and recess indoors. Stay hydrated and have a wonderful day. Thank you. I'm very honored, very privileged, to be given this opportunity to be able to serve my students and my parents at this school. I want to make a difference. I want to be able to come in here and support my teachers. Our goal is to be able to improve our students' academics, improve in their reading scores and writing scores. The way I approach my students, I always approach them as if they were my kids. If they were my kids in situations, what would I want the school to be able to do? Really, this is their second home. You guys ready for school this week? Yes. Oh, you guys sound still asleep. You guys ready for school this week? Yes. That's what I like to hear. Good job.
These little devices that never seem to leave our hands are wonderful tools that can connect us instantly to each other and the world. But they can also become weapons to hurt people. It is called cyberbullying, and not only is it hurtful, it is illegal. At CUSD, we take cyberbullying very seriously. There are serious penalties for anyone caught using digital technology to embarrass or humiliate others. But we believe the best solution is prevention.
Compton School Police Department has been and is currently still offering bullying classes on a rotational basis. We have personnel that go out to the school site. Importance of having outreach on cyberbullying is because it is a 24-hour problem. Due to the internet and the nature of social media, students cannot get away from it as they could compared to traditional types of bullying, which happens when they come to school. Same as anything else that your child is involved in, please be aware of what they're doing online. Keep aware, open the lines of communication, and just report it if you have a concern.
Joining us today is Sahar Moshayedi, who is not only an administrator of education services here at the Compton Unified School District. She also did graduate work on cyberbullying. Thanks very much, Ms. Moshayedi. I'm definitely interested in learning about your professional and personal experiences.
Yes, I did graduate thesis work on effective bully prevention programs, what causes students, what are their incentives and motivations to exhibit peer aggression towards one another, whether it's through technological means, social media, or whether it's face-to-face. I've also done a lot of research about what educational practitioners can do to minimize these behaviors at their school sites. Personally, as an adult, I have been a target of virtual attacks through social media and slanderous website comments. And it really was a reflective period to go back and think about, how is this going to affect my professional relationships? How is it going to affect my friendships, my family relationships? And fortunately, it didn't affect any of those things, but it did give me a reason to go back and think about what it is that our students are facing every day in such a critical point of their identity development, and creating an environment at a school site that's conducive to learning.
So if I'm a parent sitting at home and you hear the topic cyberbullying, and oftentimes people simply say, who gets bullied over the internet? What are some things that as a parent I would want to see?
Definitely parents need to be educated about how to teach their children to use technology responsibly and respectfully, monitoring their social media. Parents can only do so much, and so we encourage students to tell a parent at home, to tell an adult at school if they are victims of cyber attacks. The most effective mechanism is really internal peer regulation, fostering and facilitating respectful and safe learning environments at the school site first, and as adults backing students up in monitoring one another's behavior.
So when does it move from a prank to actual bullying?
The incentives and motivations for students are highly varied. Usually the reason for bullying to take place is usually to promote oneself within the social hierarchy by demoting somebody else. And demotion can happen in a number of ways. Through social media is definitely the most common now, and the impacts can be so traumatic because it's no longer confined to geographical boundaries of one particular school site. It can be viral and go across different neighborhoods, cities, states, even countries, and now students can't just move to another school and start fresh. Sometimes they're forced to be homeschooled and isolated from their peers, and ultimately this impacts the learning experience.
And then based upon the research that you've done in the past, what we find is that many of these students have even committed suicide. Is that a fair
That's
statement?
absolutely true. Students have harmed themselves. They have also been harmed. And what's unfortunate is that there isn't enough protection for our students on a federal level, really, unless there's a physical threat of harm to a student. So if you did a YouTube search on bullying, you would probably get hundreds of results of students who have either been harmed or have harmed themselves due to these bullying experiences. And what's really unfortunate is that a lot of these social media platforms and websites are not being held accountable for protecting anonymous perpetrators from attacking other people online. Educational technology is such a powerful tool. No doubt we want our students to really take advantage of them. But when it's used maliciously and it's used to harm others, that's an ethical issue. And as educators, it's our responsibility to ensure the safety, not just physical safety of our students, but emotional safety.
I can actually agree with that, and I do believe that a lot of the responsibility should be placed upon the operators of these various platforms. If you had your druthers as a school system, do you believe that the Compton Unified School District should consider perhaps sponsoring legislation which could tighten up this particular area?
Absolutely. I think that there should be as much awareness brought to the surface as possible in regards to tightening legislature and policies that are going to protect students by making sure that these platforms are held accountable and that it shouldn't be a place where it's okay to slander and defame other individuals, whether they're children or they're adolescents or even if they're adults.
Well, I would like to thank you very much for joining us today. There are special cyberbullying apps created by the folks at the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. It is called No Bullying, and it is available on your Google, or via the Apple App Store. This is not the only TV show produced at Compton Unified. Students from Emerson Elementary School launched their news program last year, the Emerson Elementary Tiger News. They are back this year, and today they shared the exclusive interview with Superintendent Darren Brawley.
My name is Ulysses.
My name is Mariah. Today we're interviewing Superintendent Brawley. What's your favorite sport?
My favorite sport is definitely football.
How many years you been a superintendent?
This is I'm going on my 5th year here in Compton, and prior to that, 3 years in another district, so we're looking at the beginning of my 8th year as a superintendent.
What's your favorite subject?
Favorite subject is definitely science. Science provides you the opportunity for inquiry, if you will. You get the chance to explore something in depth. You get the chance to solve something most of the time. Oftentimes a problem is presented to you, and you have to come up with the rationale for why certain things are happening.
What are your 3 goals for the district?
Student achievement outcomes. So we want to see our students continue to increase in both language arts and math scores throughout the state. We also want to see increased graduation rates continue. We had a significant increase of about 11%. We also want to make sure that our students are college and career ready. So making sure that our students complete the A through G requirements that are necessary to enter into college, but also looking at ways that we can expand programs for students that may not necessarily go to college, so that by the time they leave us, they're ready to enter the workforce.
How do you like your job?
I love my job.
What made you choose a career as a superintendent?
Really, it's about knowing that you can have a bigger impact on things, and then having the courage to step into that role and actually do it.
How do schools improve?
Schools improve by a collective effort of everybody.
Do you see the district changing in the next 5 years?
The next 5 years, some of the things that we can look forward to seeing are enhanced facilities throughout the district. We'll be seeing a brand new Compton High School. We'll be seeing improvements and enhancements in our elementary and middle schools throughout the district.
Thank you, Superintendent. That's all for now.
All right.
Compton's Walk for a Cure has become an important annual tradition. Thanks to our board president, Satra Zarita, and her sister, Compton Councilwoman Jana Zarita, every year hundreds of participants get up early on Saturday in October to spread the important message about breast cancer screening.
All right, let's get ready. 1, 2, 3.
So I was inspired 5 years ago to do this event when I met a 17-year-old student who had breast cancer and who had missed almost all year of school. Every year, another one of our friends is affected by breast cancer. Every year we have someone who comes here who had breast cancer last year and who is in remission now and surviving. We pay homage and tribute to our fallen sisters who have succumbed to breast cancer.
And you got your pink beard on.
Well, you know what I do it. That's why I'm late. I got up. I had to do my beard this morning.
Okay, my name is Marvin Stovall. I grew up in Compton. My family moved to Compton in 1967. The reason I'm walking is approximately 7 years ago, my mom at the age of 75 was diagnosed with breast cancer. She's a survivor. She just turned 83 in April. So I vowed to walk every year that I possibly could.
It's a beautiful day in the city of Compton, and what's key is early detection, and that's what we advocate for, is early detection for women and families to be educated and to understand that they do have support.
And so what we want to do, we want to wrap our arms around each and every one of you.
Are we going to fight this? Yeah. Are we going to beat it? Yeah. Are we going to stomp it to the ground?
Yeah. There is a need for increased cultural sensitivity as well as public education around breast cancer and breast cancer awareness.
So we will do everything we can to continue to fight to make sure that we bring this down.
My name is Arletta. Today is a beautiful day, walking for breast cancer. I'm walking for my sister, Yvette. She passed away in December of 2014 from breast cancer.
Breast cancer, 5-year survivor, feeling great, learned more about Jesus and going strong. Amen.
My name is Lupe and I'm a 6-year survivor.
Que me parece formidable que la ciudad de Compton haga estos eventos para nosotras las mujeres y que todas las ciudades lo deberían de hacer, seguir el ejemplo de mi ciudad, Compton.
We hope you've enjoyed our program and learned more about our amazing turnaround story here within the Compton Unified School District. We close with a story about students from Emerson Elementary School and their one-day adventure at sea. I'm your host, MIcah Ali. See you next month on Compton School Success.
This is a training vessel here, all right? So we need everybody here to actually be the crew.
Hand by hand, yes. Harder is back.
Well, my experience today is really surprising. I never been in a boat, so I started to get a little queasy when we start moving, but now I'm really getting the feel of the wind in my face. It feels like heaven up here.
Hold tight.
Yes, it gets harder. Ready, peak! My favorite part about today is when we had to pull the line to make the sail go up.
The purpose for the program is for making sure that lots of kids get to go out on the ocean on our tall ships and learn what it's all about. Some students have never been to the ocean before, never been on a 110-foot boat. So when you come out and do that, it really opens up your vision of what can be done.
4 spokes to the right. Well, this has been a great program. The students here are really excited, really enthusiastic. I only wish that we could do a longer program, just getting a touch of what it is like on this boat. With 45 students all crammed on the boat, you know, all this today has been in the inner harbor, which is a little different experience when you're crossing the channel being here in Catalina or elsewhere. I've been with Lamy 8 years. They hired me for captain on this boat 8 years ago in October. And I think to celebrate, we're gonna go sailing on this boat with kids. It's gonna be great.